Afghanistan, often called the graveyard of empires, has resisted foreign control for over 2 millennia, a testament to its rugged geography of vast mountains and valleys and the enduring spirit of its approximately 40 million people. Its formidable Hindu Kush Mountains, spanning 800 kilometers with peaks over 7,000 meters like Tirik Mir at 7,708 meters, create natural barriers and narrow passes, such as the 53-kilometer-long Khyber Pass, complicating logistics for any invading force amid harsh winters dropping to minus 40 degrees Celsius. The population of around 40 million is ethnically diverse, 42% Pashtun, 27% Tajik, 9% Hazara, 9% Uzbek, and is often governed by tribal codes like Pashtunwali, which emphasizes hospitality, revenge, and fierce independence rather than loyalty to a strong central state. Empires rise, they invade Afghanistan, and ultimately, they leave. This relentless cycle has defined the nation's history for more than 2,500 years. Foreign powers invaded Afghanistan not for its wealth, but for its strategic position as a crucial buffer and crossroads between Central Asia, South Asia, Persia, India, and the Middle East. It served as a vital corridor for ancient Silk Road trade routes that funneled immense wealth, but also inevitably attracted both merchants and conquering armies. The British viewed it as a buffer against Russian expansion during the Great Game from the 1830s to 1900s, while the Soviets invaded to secure warm water ports and counter growing U.S. influence in the region. Post 9/11 attacks, the United States invaded in October 2001 to dismantle al-Qaeda networks and oust the Taliban regime, continuing this long tradition of external interventions. From Alexander the Great's invasion in 330 BC, where he founded cities like Alexandria Ariana near Herat, before his empire fragmented after his death in 323 BC, to Mahmud of Ghazna's repeated 17 raids between 1000 and 1027 AD, invaders achieved only temporary success. The Mongols under Genghis Khan invaded in 1221, causing immense destruction with an estimated 1.5 million killed. Yet their rule over Afghanistan proved brief and unstable. The British faced similar challenges during the Anglo-Afghan Wars, particularly the disastrous First Anglo-Afghan War from 1839 to 1842, where Elphinstone's retreat in January 1842 saw 4,500 soldiers and 12,000 civilians massacred over 90 miles to Jalalabad. Despite some battlefield victories like at Peshawar Pass in the Second Anglo-Afghan War of 1878 to 1880, full control remained elusive, culminating in Afghanistan gaining full independence after the Third Anglo-Afghan War in 1919. In December 1979, the USSR invaded to support a faltering communist government against fierce resistance from Mujahideen fighters backed by the United States. Despite controlling major cities like Kabul with its 1.5 million population, the Soviets struggled to subdue the vast countryside, where supply lines stretched over 1,500 kilometers from the Soviet border and were vulnerable to ambushes. After a decade of grueling conflict from 1979 to 1989, with 15,312 Soviet deaths, 620,000 wounded, 1 to 2 million Afghan civilian deaths, and 5 million refugees, the Soviets withdrew in February 1989, leaving a devastated nation behind. They controlled the cities. They lost the countryside. The U.S.-led invasion in October 2001 following the 9/11 attacks that killed nearly 3,000, aimed to dismantle al-Qaeda and oust the Taliban from power. At its peak in 2011, 140,000 NATO troops were deployed, yet the 20-year conflict proved enormously costly, with $2.3 trillion spent according to Brown University estimates, and over 100,000 lives lost, including 2,459 U.S. troops, 3,846 coalition forces, 66,000 Afghan security personnel, and 46,000 civilians. Advanced technology like Predator drones and MRAP vehicles often struggled against the 70% mountainous terrain and the Taliban's resurgence, fueled by over 64,000 IEDs detonated and annual opium funding of $400 million. Power without permanence. The fundamental mistake was failing to understand Afghanistan's decentralized power structure, where real control resides not in a single capital like Kabul, but dispersed among over 400 tribes and local communities in rural areas covering 80% of the land. The Karzai government from 2004 to 2014, despite massive international support, controlled less than 60% of the territory, its legitimacy deeply eroded by widespread corruption and ineffectiveness. Invaders often ignored vital local jirgas and shuras, the traditional tribal councils, alienating the very people they sought to govern and win over. No capital to capture, no system to control. Afghans have consistently used time as a weapon, patiently outlasting every foreign power that has attempted to impose control over their sovereign land. The British endured 3 wars over 80 years, the Soviets fought for 10 years, and the United States persisted for 20 years from 2001 to 2021, only to eventually withdraw each time. As foreign forces depart amid chaos, the Afghan countryside continues its timeless daily life, with children walking to school, farmers tending their fields, and markets bustling as always. Empires require centralized control to thrive, but Afghanistan demands extraordinary endurance from its people, a hard lesson learned repeatedly through 2,500 years of relentless invasions. Its unconquered core remains intact, a powerful testament to the resilience of a nation that has consistently outlasted all its invaders across millennia. Empires require control. Afghanistan requires endurance. Unconquered.